Today on Addicted to Gear, we're going to be doing an unboxing video of the brand new MG400 by NUX. Stay tuned. Welcome back everybody. I hope you are as excited as I am to have the brand new MG400 from NUX in my hands. I'm saving this so that I can do an unboxing with you so we can actually experience what the unit looks like, feels like, what they've updated in the unit. We can take a look at it together. First looks. I know how you guys like unboxing videos. I find them pretty exciting too. So we're gonna get started and take this out of the box and take a look at it together. I wanted to just say that this video will not be a playthrough sample, and I know you guys want to hear what it sounds like as well. That will be a follow-up video where I'm going to be actually playing through all of the stock factory sounds before they're actually changed or edited by me, so that you can hear what you get with this unit right out of the box. So without further ado, let's get started on the unboxing video. First of all, I want to say the packaging looks really nice. I like the really slick, glossy lettering on the matte black box. That looks pretty sexy. Can you see that? Details, I know, but it definitely makes things look more pro. All right, let's take this guy out and put this right over here. Of course, we have the manual in the box, but I won't look at that yet. We'll look at that a little bit later. It does include an international guarantee card. That's pretty good to know. Now the box itself here has foam packaging on it. So you can see this is high density foam, which again is minor details, but these minor details give me more confidence when I see, you know, how nicely the things are put together. Like, look at the detail here. They have the foam that holds the unit, and this also holds the box that I believe is the adapter. That's pretty nice, you know, nice little details. So let's put this aside. We'll open up the adapter in a minute. Let me put that down there. Let's take the plastic off the cover and take a look at the unit. Unit looks pretty nice. So on first glance, the unit doesn't look terribly different from the previous version, the MG300, but I do notice some subtle changes. So let's talk about that. As you can see, the model's quite similar to what we had on the previous version. You still have the screen here. You have the switch buttons at the bottom, the control knobs in the middle, and the additional controllers right over here, which again seems very similar. However, we do notice here now that instead of having two buttons, there's three buttons. These buttons feel nice. They're lit up, which is good. I think they're using the same sort of system as a previous one, where when you click on them, depending on what you have activated, the colors will change. So this looks like it's the down selection. This looks like it acts as control 1 and the loop. This works as the control 2 and the drum start and stop. And when you press these two now, you're getting into tuner mode. So that's pretty nice. More buttons. A few more buttons are always nice. You'll notice this is also different because now you have the down and the up button right over here. So down and up. I have a little bit of reservations on this change because I feel like, although it's nice to have more than one button at your disposal, the layout here seems like it may be a problem. You can see here that they put in this little roll bar metal piece between the up and down button, the up and down switch, and that's basically because you know what's going to happen, right? Eventually, if you didn't have this, you would probably crush these knobs. So I'm not sure that's the best solution in this scenario. And as a matter of fact, I probably would suggest that instead of putting the roll bar here, it would actually be situated right over the knobs so that you can still tweak the knobs over the roll bar. Having a switch all the way up here means that there's a lot of potential for damage. I would have preferred to have the switch down here. You can see that they put the topper on this switch to make it higher so that it's easier to get to. The actual physical switch looks like it's a different switch altogether because it's actually a lot taller, even without the topper, than the usual switches down here. I don't know how well it's going to work. We're going to take a look at that in a real world scenario when we actually try out the unit, and we'll see how long it lasts before something happens. Hopefully it doesn't, but you know, this doesn't lead me to feel that confident. The casing is still the same. It's made out of a plastic type material. The back of the unit is made of some sort of a very thin aluminum sheet, pretty thin. And you still have the nice little grips, the rubbery grips, so you can actually, you know, I can put it down on an angle and it won't slide. I like that a lot. The control pedal works really well. It still has a really nice thick rubber grip with the NUX logo in here. I like that a lot. Although the unit's made of plastic, you can see they use pretty nice hardware. You have the Allen key bolts here that are nice. If anything breaks, I'm sure you can probably remove that and order a replacement part if you need to. Let's look at the front of the unit a little bit more. As we can see here, now that they've changed the configuration slightly, we do have the select button here. This select button, if you can hear it, is clicky. So this allows you to toggle through the menu when it's on, make your selection, and then when you press it down, it's basically like you're confirming your selection. These three knobs here basically act as controllers. You can actually tweak these knobs and change the settings, and you'll see that all on this screen. The screen itself, and I'm going by memory here, guys, so don't quote me on this because I did actually give away the previous unit that I had. Seems to be a little bit bigger. We'll power the unit on in a second and we'll take a look at the screen. Now we do have a master all the way up here. So this, I guess, will act as a master volume, master controller. And it does look like we have an additional button here. They added a control button here in the middle. The other buttons, I think, are quite similar. You have the toggle, the control, you have the store edit button, you have the save button, the mode button, the jam tap, and pedal button. So that is pretty much very similar, except for this center button here, which is still nice to see that they're making improvements on this model. Let's look at the back. The back is where the money is, in my opinion, because the previous model sounded pretty good to me, except it didn't have adequate ins and outs, I felt. I think they were lacking in certain areas, and I want to take a look at this with you. The first thing that I noticed on this unit, and I'm very pleased with, is the fact that you do now have a power switch. Previously on this model, you had to actually pull out the adapter to turn it off. I didn't feel that was very professional. They now have a dedicated on-off switch here in the back. That's beautiful. Very nice. You still have the USB, so you can connect the unit to your computer and use it as a DAW, or download firmware updates, or work with the software to edit the settings and patches. You still have a phone output to connect your headphones. You do have an auxiliary in, so you can connect MP3 player or other device to the unit. The only thing that's missing, and if you pay attention you probably can figure that out, is the fact that it doesn't have an effects loop. I like to use this unit with some existing pedals that I have, and an effects loop circuit would be great to take advantage of that, but unfortunately they did not add it to this version. Perhaps the next one, I guess. Alright, let's plug this guy in and take a look at the screen. So let's open up the little box here. This is a power supply. It says, if I'm reading it correctly, that it's a 9-volt DC 0.5 amp power supply in here. So let's open it up. Let's pull it out. So here you can see the adapter for the power supply. One thing I want to point out on this guy is that it is a universal adapter. You can actually pull this off and put a different adapter for, I guess, European current, but you don't have an extra adapter. So I guess they ship this, depending on where it's shipping to, they provide the adequate connector. If you're in Europe, you would need the other one. Long enough. Let's plug it in. So one thing I like to check out is how long it actually takes to boot up. So let's press the power button and count. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. Okay, 8 Mississippi, about 8 seconds or so for it to power on. So you can see the screen now. It does seem like the screen is bigger. The real estate on the screen definitely looks bigger than the previous version. The previous version had a black frame around it, so the actual pixels didn't go all the way to the edge of the screen. This one seems like it does. So that's a good, added real estate on a screen is always something good in my opinion. I can definitely see that there seems to be more icons on the screen as well. So I'm going to be curious to see what those do when we get into the actual nuts and bolts of the unit. And I can see that they have additional S1, S2, S3 parameters on the screen. So I believe those refer to scenes. So we have at least 3 scenes for sure. But I like the screen. I think it looks pretty nice. I wanted to check out the tuner really quickly and see how it behaves. So let me just take a guitar. Okay, let's plug in the guitar, put it in tuner mode here, and see what the graphics look like when you're in tuner mode. Okay, so we have a bunch of bars, and we can see that it's pretty responsive in terms of a tuner. Wow, that G string is totally off. All right, so I like the tuner. I think the tuner looks pretty nice. Overall, guys, I like the look and feel of this unit. The switches look nice. A very pleasing, satisfying click. This one, obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see how this one works. But beyond that, I mean, it looks pretty nice. I want to check out the settings with you guys. We're going to definitely take a deeper dive into this unit where we're going to actually play with all of the parameters and sounds. But initially, I'm liking the unit. I think that they made some nice changes, and I can't wait to actually hear it now. Of course, there's one last thing you get with the unit. This is a little USB cable. You have a USB-C to regular USB. Obviously, you can plug that in the back of the unit, plug it into your laptop, and you're ready to record. The unit seems to be quite similar to the original model. However, they did make some light changes to it. I'm glad they didn't actually stray too far away from the original design, because I actually liked the original. I felt it worked well. It wasn't cluttered, was easy to understand. Everything was pretty easy to use and get to. So I'm happy that they kept that. I'm happy that they kept the really thick expression pedal. The grippy rubber really works well in my opinion. The screen seems to be just as good as the original. Maybe the resolution is a little bit better. I'm not really sure. I'll have to take a deep dive into it. The switches look nice. This switch, however, has me on the fence. I don't really know how well this switch is going to work. I feel my initial gut reaction is that it's in a weird place and might not work as well as intended. However, I don't want to pass judgment on it yet until I have an opportunity to actually use it. I'm going to be taking a deep dive into this unit, and we're going to be listening to a lot of the sounds, the factory presets. That's going to be the next video. Want to go through all of those with you to give you an idea of the flavors that are being offered in this unit without necessarily tweaking it, just factory defaults. Of course, we can tweak it to our heart's content and squeeze as much juice as we would like to out of the unit. But I want to see what the factory settings are, how they sound, where they choke out at, how much memory we can actually squeeze out in terms of whether or not we have any issues with overflow buffers, errors or anything like that. I don't expect to see any of that because the initial first release was actually quite good. I'm thinking that they may have made some tweaks to the actual interface, the GUI interface, so I'm curious to see that. Upon first inspection, the tuner looks nice. I like the way they laid it out. I'm glad it works really well. I would have liked to have seen an effects loop in here. I think that would be quite handy if you want to actually put in a couple of your own pedals and use it with the multi-effect, but they didn't do that. As a budget interface, which is really not that expensive, I still think that you're getting a lot of great functionality out of this small unit. Give me your thoughts on this unit. Give me your thoughts on the initial look of it. Let me know if you're interested in perhaps buying this unit or upgrading the original one that you may have already purchased. And let me know what your thoughts are. I'm curious to find out what you guys feel. I've been waiting for this unit for a long time. I'm happy that it's finally here. I want to hear what you guys think of the initial unboxing, the layout, the look, the feel of it. And let me know if this is already enticing you to perhaps upgrade from the original or maybe buy the unit for the first time. I'm sure you can make up your mind completely once you hear the sounds and we jump into the interface. But for now, I just wanted to show you what the unit looks like because I know how exciting it is to have a new unit and everybody wants to see what it actually looks like and how it actually is laid out. So guys, stay tuned for the follow-up video where we're going to be playing the sounds of this unit and we're going to be evaluating what it actually sounds like. If you guys have not already subscribed to Addicted to Gear, do it right now. Hit the little subscribe button or you'll be missing out on that video and a whole bunch more. That's it for now, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with more right here on Addicted to Gear. See you soon.